Good morning, this is Dan O'Farron. I am recording this from Legoland, Cryptofornia Hotel and Resort. It's been real, it's expensive. It's been real expensive. The top block on the blockchain is number 292583, and the first digits of the Merkle root are F5242BFB. Let's follow the Bitcoin. Before I go that far, though, I want to ask for subscribers. I have a tip jar, that's out there for people who have tips. But another way, if you are interested in these videos that you can express your interest, is to follow me. I have several places you could follow me. The first place is to subscribe to this YouTube channel. I'm already with, only been at it a week without much promotion. I've got a couple of subscribers already. So if you find it interesting, subscribe to this YouTube channel. You can watch it on your Chromecast. I have a Twitter account, CryptoCrum, @CryptoCrum. You can follow this Twitter account. Haven't done much to promote it yet, so I'm the only follower right now. And because I have a YouTube page, I also have a Google Plus page that you could also follow if Google Plus is your thing. And a question I commonly get is, where is this software? What is this software using to analyze the blockchain? This is my own custom creation. Right now I consider it to be a toy. I don't consider it to be a commercial project. There's a lot that could go into it, but right now it's just a toy doing the core things to analyze it. You can find it on GitHub at github/shemnon/followthebitcoin, big F, big T, big B in case it matters. And you can download this and run it yourself. You just take one of these Gradle W scripts and you would do Gradle W space run, and you're running it right there in your own system. And you can do all the same analysis that I do. But let's follow the Bitcoin. So I swear that I'm not going to just do MtGox transactions. However, these MtGox transactions are the most topical and relevant transactions out there right now. And there's some interesting things going on that impact the news immediately. I'll go through some other transactions that I'm pretty certain are not Gox transactions that are interesting. But let's go back to this one. Now, this is one that I did one of my first CryptoCrum videos on. This is actually the MtGox. This is going to be the 20,000 split tree. And so let's go ahead and show you that we'll descend the pyramid, and this makes a really nice binary tree pyramid, except three steps down we get this one little odd duck. Now when I first looked at the pyramid, I assumed that this is the point where they had stopped splitting it. Someone really had an account with 3,215 Bitcoin that they were holding in it there. But you'll see in this that it has one output and four inputs. So let's go ahead and remove all of the noise so we can just focus on this particular tree. That didn't go how I wanted it to. So we'll just clear the graph and start over. It's usually how we get here anyway. So let's explore this one. You'll see that there are four inputs. Two of them related to each other and a big one. What's interesting is this one output. If we go ahead and descend the pyramid again, we'll see that we get the same very pretty binary tree pyramid. So what this tells me is that MtGox still controlled it at this point, and still controlled it at this point, and their automated system was splitting it again into a pyramid after it noticed that there was a little more money placed into this wallet before it split it. So let's prune this down, and let's look at the interesting blocks. Now there's really this block and these pair of blocks that are kind of interesting to look at. But let's look at the inputs from this block. This is kind of an interesting one. It has 2 inputs and 234 outputs. And what's this? So this, when I outlined this one with dashed lines, what I put that in there to tell me is that this is a Coinbase transaction. Somebody made this Bitcoin from mining. And if we go up, we'll find another mining transaction with smaller outputs here, but a big 234 output mining. But what's interesting is it goes into this transaction, and it is controlled by MtGox. So let's really quick look at the addresses and see what's going on here. So these mining transactions, CJPR7, CJPR7, these are coming from the same source. There's nothing funny coming in from there. It looks like a legitimate mining source, but what really gets interesting is when we look at the times. 2014, March 4th, This was mined after MtGox closed all transactions. And the payout here happened on 7th, which was during the time that these binary trees were going about. And so somehow, through this mining payout, it went into MtGox and they accepted it. And they continued to split it and accept it as money. So to me, what that indicates is either, the conspiracy nuts that say MtGox is lying and trying to steal money. I don't think that's what's going on. I think when MtGox turned on its automated splitting system, it turned on everything, including automated inbound addresses. And so I bet this one XTVR QJ94 address is one of their addresses that they automatically sweep up, that they have the keys for as a standard input address into someone's account there. Similarly, the other theory is that, this is what's really interesting though. If we look at the timestamp on this, 240 block 28934, this is also 28934. So these 3 transactions were all done in the same block, and they were all put in at the same time. Maybe someone was trying to tag this, I don't know. If we look at the US dollar amount for these, you can see literally they were putting pocket change into this address. And here they put $1.10 for some mining payout, probably found a couple of difficulty 0 ones. But they're literally putting pocket change in here. I don't know if they're trying to market or what they're doing. But again, I would assume that these 2 addresses are some known addresses to MtGox, that when you get money, you sweep it. Maybe these were under control of MtGox, and this is from their hot wallets, their hot wallet configuration, however they're doing it. Or maybe it's just some random person. But again, MtGox would have to know the signing address for these. So somehow the system knows it. So what I'm saying from this crypto crumb today, I'm looking at this, is that MtGox is doing more than turning on their large-scale splitting. They've turned on the whole system. Known or unknown to them, they've turned on the whole system. And the paranoid person might say, well, MtGox is mining these and putting these in. And the short answer is no. So let's go to blockchain and look at some of the addresses. So here's the one XTV that has the input, and here we see one CJPR. This is Ghash, which is a very well-known mining pool. So these 2 blocks were Ghash mining pools. So we know right here, and this was probably a Ghash mining payout. So we can just dismiss this entire tree. There's nothing fishy going on there. But these 2, these are the mystery to me. I don't know what's in here. I don't know where they're coming from. I don't, it's something I would love to know. And here's some of the other addresses I was looking at to see if there's anything interesting. What I was really looking here to see is if these were single-use ones. No, they're not single-use. So they were outside and they were used before. These weren't single-use. There's more than 2 transactions here. But this one, FXBK, was a single-use, and that's just single-use in their chain. Data in, data out. There's nothing funny, but this was just the pyramid. So these other 2, this to me is the mystery. This is where some more interesting investigation could go in. Now, why is this relevant? There was a new statement to MtGox. If I can find which one it was. Today is the 2007 26. I think this is the most recent one. Again, if you can read Japanese. But this appears to be a formality, and I think what's happening is what needs to happen. They're saying, this is a formal Japanese thing, that they're turning over all of the digital information to the investigators. Now, what I really hope that we get out of this, I don't know if it's going to be public or if Japan might not be America, especially if the company gets bought up and goes back into business. But to get these addresses, these Bitcoin addresses that they were using to move money around, to accept money in and send money out, that would answer a lot of the questions on the Bitcoin tree as to whether someone stole the money, whether Mark was trying to embezzle the money, which I don't think is true. The more likely scenario is that Mark was in over his head as far as the difficulty and the impact, the weight of the money. He got in over his head, and things just started falling around him. I think that's probably the most likely scenario. And if we could get this information, it would probably prove it. I doubt the thefts were 600,000. He probably lost one of the keys. Probably may have recovered it. One of the rumors going around the Twitter stream right now is that they've recovered basically all the money. I'll believe it when I see it. Haven't seen any large transactions to confirm that or any cold wallet configurations. But that's something that we should, look up and look into and see what's going on. If they're smart and they found all the keys, they're just going to do some test signings and not move it around the blockchain, because everyone was all over it when they started moving money and knew exactly what was going on. I would expect them to announce they found it and then start moving it and then start consolidating it, so not as to tip their hand. But anyway, that's all that I found today from MtGox. That they're still, up and running in full capacity on at least some of the inputs and outputs. So I don't think they're going to be completely liquidated. They'll be used in some aspect. Again, there's tip jars in the comment stream, or subscribe to my channel, subscribe to my Twitter, CryptoCrumb on Twitter, or subscribe to the Google Plus page. Again, thank you, and until next week.